Hi everyone, my name is Ravi. Welcome back to another video of consulting cases where I take up a consulting case which has already been taken up in the DBA program. So let's go ahead. So the title of the today's consulting case is cabin crew strategy for one of the largest airlines in the Middle East. This problem statement lies basically in transport industry. It was taken up in year 2022-23 in the eighth cohort. So I'm gonna go and read I'm going to go read the case description and try to develop an foundational understanding of the case. We'll try to understand the problem statement, the needs and the requirements of the client, and I'll try to uh, propose solutions like what could be the best approach to solve the problem. The idea over here is let me just try to brainstorm as much as I can and dwell into the problem statement and solutions both, so that I could view the problem in a very holistic 360 manner. And that's the idea. So now let's go and read the case description. So it's the case says globally renowned airline recognized for its service excellence has a mission to elevate services and enhance cabin crew performance, directly benefiting customers through improved service quality. In order to improve the cabin crew performance, DB was tasked to ensure alignment between on goals and objectives of the cabin crew related departments and to recommend initiatives required to achieve the goals of the target period of 3 years. So basically, here the objective is very clear. The client is a leading largest is the leading airlines in the Middle East, and it wanted to enhance the service which is given by its cabin crew. They have also set a tough a deadline for this vision, which is 3 years, and they wanted us to analyze how we can improve upon their processes, practices, and what could be the necessary steps which they should follow in order to better themselves and achieve their vision. So it's clearly very straightforward case, and will definitely covering it. Will cover it how we can improve on the cabin crew part. Here would the mistake I think which we could make over here is while devising out the solution, or maybe even any other consulting partner, is if is that if like a lot of people, while while giving the solutions, they what they do is they do the competitor analysis, and they take up, okay, if our competitors are having this best practices, let's adopt it as it is. But the thing is, sometimes adopting the practices as it is not is not a very sustainable method, because each airline has a very different brand identity. Each airline has a very different consumer base, targeted audience, right? So we need to while we need to uh, definitely do the thorough analysis what the competitors are doing, what are their best practices are, but at the same time, while making the necessary changes, we should not be a copycats and just paste it as is. We should make refined changes. We should make it nuanced, and also we should make sure that what is the one quality of ours which the client is liking, which the customers are liking, right? So maybe the client cabin crew is doing five things. Maybe the cabin crew is doing no two things wrong, but I am sure that they must be doing three things right. So while in the process of improvement, we should make sure that the three things which are going in our favor should that should be continued, right? So we should not make any very radical or drastic change which takes away the strengths of ours, right? So yeah, so let's go and continue with the objective and goal. So the objective is very clear. The client is a leading global airlines operating in Middle East. They wanted to enhance the customer service by improving the cabin crew's operations, and they have set a vision for 3 years. They wanted to improve and see the results in 3 years. I wanted to deliver superior customer experiences. So let's go ahead and look at the goals which they should be achieving in a phase-wise manner in order to achieve their vision of of providing the superior customer service. So the short term goal, it needs aligned goals and objective across cabin crew related department to create a cohesive performance strategy. So the idea over here is, let's look at let's revisit what's the what how the performance of each cabin crew is evaluated. Let's go and revisit that and see if we could make necessary changes over that. Like, we need to make sure how the performance is of each person is evaluated. Are the metrics which is considered in the calculation of performance, are they relevant or not? Are we keeping that in terms of times or not? Because what happens is that a lot of companies do this mistake, that the metrics on which the performance is monitored are sometimes become obsolete. It becomes like 5 year, the company is carrying that metrics for 5 years or 4 years or 10 years. So that's something which we should revisit and make sure that performance the performance metric should be very dynamic. It should not be just three or two, 4, 5 parameters. It should be very comprehensive, holistic, and there should be a lot of dynamics to it, right? Okay, how the how right from how the cabin crew is treating the customer, to how the cabin crew is behaving within the team, how the cabin crew is acting as a leader. Is the cabin crew nice with the teammates or not? So every kind of activity or every kind of you know uh, particular thing which we can take it up should be monitored in as the as a performance metric, because then only we can create a very robust performance metric strategy, and we could evaluate, okay, these are our top performing cabin crew members, these are not, these require improvements, and likewise. So we will have a very clear picture of where we stand. So that should be the short term, is to create a good performance monitoring strategy. Now, look at the midterm goal. It is to implement targeted initiatives to upskill cabin crew and improve operational efficiency. So, yeah, once we have a proper performance metric mechanism in place, and once we have implemented that, we'll get a very clear picture of what our top candidates are, what are our candidates which are not so performing, and therefore we can have a very targeted initiatives for upskilling. Like, okay, the our top performing candidates could be promoted. How we should see how we can promote them to young leaders. Therefore they will be needing some managerial kind of managerial kind of mentorship or new leadership kind of mentorship. And for our low performing cabin crew members, we could see the area where they lack, and we can improve that, and we can see the area where they're lacking, and we can help them improve for that particular skill. And this kind of targeted initiatives will help us help us improve the overall skill of the team. And at the same time, this will also help us improve the operational efficiency, because if the more efficient the employees are in doing their job, executing their job, the better the operational efficiency the team will get. So the idea is to achieve operational efficiency by making sure we have targeted initiatives to upskill the cabin crew members. Long-term goal is to establish a culture of continuous improvements, ensuring sustained service excellence over 3 years. So the idea over here is, let's to have a culture of improvements. Let's not take feedback as something considered as taboo, or something as, okay, this is something uh, for as a failure. Feedback should be something which everybody should adhere to, and should be eager to get, should eager to receive. And it should begin from top level management, right from C level executive. Even they should be in the meetings, they should actively seek feedback. So if they will begin to do this, then the it will create a good positive impact and impression among all the people, that seeking feedback and improving upon it should be considered as a culture. So that should be the long term goal. Yeah, so now we'll be looking at the strategy which the client could adopt in order to meet the goals, and to win the ultimate vision which they are having for themselves in the 3 months, in the 3 year span of time. So the first strategy which we would like to propose is about goal alignment. So what we do mean by goal alignment is we conduct workshops and consultations to ensure consistent objectives across cabin crew departments, including training, operations, and HR. So it is very before this before this we in the previous slide we had already discussed that we should have a very comprehensive performance metric system for the cabin crew in order to increase the operational efficiency. However, if we really wanted to really bring in the excellence, we need to have a very collaborative partnership among all the verticals, be it HR, be it operations or training, and the training department. So the idea over here is let's not only focus on the cabin crew, but also focus uh, on the sister branches of, like, operations and HR, so that all of the departments can comprehensively, cohesively work together in order to yield results. Because if we have a very good good communication and, you know uh, uh, less response time between different departments, it will result in more trust and more faster display of results. So that is very important. Like, all the departments should, be aligned with one common goal, and everybody should work as a common with a common vision and and as a common one team. So that's number one. The second one definitely was about the performance metrics. I had already covered it comprehensively in the previous slide. It is important and crucial to have to revisit the KPIs and make sure that the KPI performance metrics are well defined, and as well as they should should cover as many things as possible. Uh, be it how they are interacting with customer, with how they are interacting as a team, and how they are working as a team leader, how they are taking up as how much they are entrepreneurial, and how much they are portraying the values. So we must take all the KPIs in focus, along focus business skills as well as soft skill both should be taken. Then the third one is targeted training programs. As I've been already said, we need to once we have key metrics in place, and once we begin to evaluate performance of all the employees, we'll have a more better picture that where the gap is lying, what are the areas where we can improve on the skill part. And therefore we can have more target based training. Like, for example, for the high achieving ones, we could have leadership program for them, so that we could promote them to the leadership positions. Similarly, for not so good performing employees, we could have, skill based trainings where they could improve upon the skills where they are lacking. So the idea over here is just to have a very targeted training based programs, and let's improve the cultural sensitivity and problem solving abilities across the employee base. And also we need to keep a check on, like, how can we, incorporate technology and tools to optimize in-flight operation. Like, if there are any tasks which we can, optimize and auto or either or optimize, or we can either automate and bring in and help the cabin crew, to ease their burden. So the idea is, how we need to also be very innovative in terms of how we can help our cabin crew, so that, they can feel light, they can feel relaxed, and they can, better perform the task, what better perform their duty. So it is to equip them with the right skills, right tools, and technological advancements. Then we should be having a very definitive and recognition reward program. So it is very important to recognize the talent, to recognize the good work, and to award the good work with incentives. And should have recognition based programs, so that, we can able to retain the top talent. And the idea here is to expand the base for the selection for recognition rewards. Let's also take soft skills also in recognition. Let's recognize the good people. Let's recognize people who have soft spoken, so that, we can say and celebrate. Like, the idea is how let every employee brings in their unique value. So have let's recognize the best of every individual, and and then perform, and then award them with the right recognition and right rewards. And so, yeah, and then coming back to customer feedback and integration. So this, I believe, we need to have a very strong customer feedback integration. We should make sure that all of our actions, all of our endeavors which we are having, we should definitely take up a call and make sure that we are looking at the feedback which is coming from the customer, and we are acting on it proactively, and refining our standards, and uh, with every service. And we should make sure the service is consistent. The excellence which we give should be consistent. It should not be like the customers are having good to experience, and they're having a bad experience, and they again have a good. So that should not be the case. They should We should make sure that we constantly strive for excellence and good customer feedbacks. Last but not least, operational streamlining. So we need to make sure that how can we optimize on schedules, workflows, and communication side channels, so that crew efficiency is optimized, making sure that even crew should not feel overburdened, or we should make sure the schedules are devised in such a way that there are no overtimes, or there are no need for overtimes or overtime working, or extra work like that. So it is the idea is here. Let's make sure that all the schedules, workflows, communication channels are streamlined, and we're making sure that everything is aligned and is in sync. So that was all about the strategy part. Uh, I'll again retouch upon the strategy part once again. So the first one is to goal alignment. Having already said that, we need in order to really give the excellent service to customer, it is very important for not only the cabin crew to improve, but it is also important for other subsidiary departments to also work cohesively towards the one common target, and everybody should come together as a team and with a common vision. So the idea is how can we improve the cohesiveness, the collaboration among all the different departments, be it HR, operations, and training, and cabin crew should be at the center. Then we should have focusing on performance metric. So the idea here is let's revisit the performance evaluation framework and let's make sure that we are increasing the spectrum of KPIs. Uh, let's not only fixate and concentrate only of the usual KPIs, but let's bring in ingenuity and bring in ingenuity and bring in innovation towards it. Let's even take soft skills in consideration. Let's take even good people who have good spoken English, or people who are good with pets or good with elderly. Let's take a lot of things in play, and devise out on the KPI. So the idea is have a very comprehensive performance metric system in place. This will what will this do is that this will give us a very clear picture that where we lack and where are the areas where we can actually improve. So it will give us, okay, these are the employees which are not a very these employees are not too soft spoken. These employees are soft spoken, but uh, when they are serving the customer, they might not be they are might not be able to deliver their thoughts to the customer. Like they might then they're not too good in catching up with the accent of the people. So like there are a lot of things which we can take up as metrics, and we could put as a comprehensive performance metric system. Third is targeted training based program. Once we have a very performance metric system in place, we can initiate with targeted training programs, making sure that as per the needs and requirements of the employees, we are giving them trainings. For the top level employees, we could have leadership programs, while for the ones who are not performing well, we could have skill based training for them. Like we can train them in the areas where they lack, so that they can improve upon the skills which are improve upon the role which they are doing. Then also we can have incorporate technology and tools to optimize in-flight operations. So the idea over here is let's equip the employees with the right skill set, right technology, right tools, so that they are able to perform their job better. And then comes recognition rewards. So the idea is how can we reward the talent. Here, when we say reward and recognition, we should make it as expansive as it possible, so that we can recognize the best in every individual, and remunerate them with incentives, or maybe give them awards. So the idea is that. Then fifth is customer feedback integration and operational streamlining, to take as many to take the customer feedback as with as seriousness as possible, and then streamlining the operational ability. Going with the implementation roadmap, the year one should be the year where we're making sure that everybody is aligned with the goal, and we can have as many trainings as possible so that we could improve on the gaps where the employees are facing. The year two should be the year where we are enhancing this performance tracking system and recognition system. So the year two should be the year where we are chasing the excellence in terms of our performance tracking and recognition system, making sure that we are best in the world when it comes to performance tracking and recognition system. Year three should be the year where we chase the consistency in the excellence and make sure we are adhering to the best practice adoption. So yeah, that was it. And this strategy, I hope, ensures the airline maintains global leadership in service quality while elevating customer satisfaction and performance.